I can't get over this president and his completely inept response to this crisis of now biblical proportions out there in the Gulf of Mexico. A response that to date has amounted to little more than a few random appearances here and there, along with the requisite photo ops and television spots that you would expect to accompany such things. Now, don't misunderstand me. I know Mr. Obama did not swim down to the bottom of the ocean to personally dislodge the pipes and make all that oil come gushing forth as it has for the last month and a half. Nor is it up to him or his administration to fix it. No, that clearly falls on BP, as they really are the ones with the technical expertise as well as the resources, the know-how, and the wherewithal to actually perform that task. Or so we'd like to think. But meantime, it is fair and appropriate that we should be able to look to our government to protect our shorelines from any further damage, as well as to manage the damage that's already been done and at least try to keep it to a minimum. I mean, how about just burning off some of that oil from the surface of the water to begin with? Now, before everybody just piles on here and throws your hands up about the possible risk of damage to the environment, I would respectfully point out to you, what about the certainty of the damage that's already been done, as well as the damage that continues to be done every single day that this oil comes gushing forward, not even to mention all the wildlife that's just been completely laid waste. Second of all, the state of Louisiana could really use an endorsement from this president, as well as some federal resources thrown behind them as they try to set up some barriers to protect their own coastline, as well as their marshes, their wetlands, their islands, and everything. And instead, they have gotten nothing. And finally, how about the presence of Barack Obama himself? A presence that, in my opinion, has come up way short. Now, here's a funny thing. Whenever I point this out to some of my friends in real life, especially the ones who are very supportive of this president, they're always quick to remind me about President Bush and his inept response to Hurricane Katrina. Well, you know something? I actually agree to an extent. And that's really my whole point here. Because back then, it was then Senator Obama who was leading the charge against Mr. Bush and actually making some pretty good points along the way. So how is it that this same person just 4 short years later completely misses the mark on this? I mean, clearly he knows better. He knows better. How is it that he's not doing better? I mean, seriously, how is he not on Air Force One down to New Orleans on day 1, making his presence felt, setting up shop, and hovering over BP to make sure that they're actually doing everything that they're supposed to be doing? It would have sent a huge message of confidence to the American people. It would have been a show of support. It would have made this country feel a lot better. If nothing else, it would have at least been good politics. But this is no longer about politics. Not anymore. It never really has been. No, this is about professionalism more than anything else. There is no liberal or conservative way to manage a crisis like this. You just either get out there and do it or you don't. And the only explanation I can come up with for the profound lack of professionalism coming out of this White House is that there's no professionals in it. Professionals get things done. They make decisions, they surround themselves with good people, and then place those people in charge of specific tasks and hold them accountable. And they move things forward. We're not seeing that because we don't have a professional in the White House right now, and that has to change. Mr. President, it doesn't matter at this point whether I voted for you or not. You are my president, and I want you to succeed. I want this because our country needs for its president to be successful. So please, for America's sake, for the planet's sake, for God's sake, step up and do your job. Steve out.